Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of NAB 2016 on BeTerrific, presented by Data Video at BeTerrific TV on all social media. I'm Michael Artsis. You're the Terrifics. You make BeTerrific special. Thanks so much for joining us. I've got a very special guest here. His name is Jon. He's from Back-Bone. He is the founder of the company. Academy Award nominated, by the way. And you guys started out making all sorts of rigs and stuff for films that, special effects really. You were doing all sorts of special effects stuff. Films like Lord of the Rings. I might have the wrong movie, but you did a lot of work with Weta as well.
That's correct, yeah. Our history is actually as a company called XYZ RGB, located out of Ottawa, Canada, and our specialty was high-density stereo pairing. So we used to do 3D reconstructions from stereo-paired cameras. So we would go on movie sets, set up massive arrays of 24 or plus cameras in a circle around a performer or animals in some cases and props, and instantly capture them from every angle and reconstruct it into a high-density point cloud.
Wow.
And then that was provided to the visual effects companies for animation.
Cool. And your Academy Award nomination is for technical achievement, which is probably the hardest thing to get.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we didn't obviously win. I think.
Did you have your speech ready?
No, we didn't get quite that far to that point, but it was certainly pretty close.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be a 5-time Emmy Award winner.
Very
nice. And the last time I had no speech prepared, and I don't know. I missed thanking somebody I really wanted to thank. So I guess you should have your speech prepared. When you get up there, you get a little rattled. Even me gets a little rattled. All right. So you went from that, which is really cool, to Back-Bone, and you basically make these rigs for GoPro, so you can put all sorts of different lenses on GoPros. You have to rip apart the GoPro, do all this stuff, put the Back-Bone back on. It's really not that difficult. We have an entire Back-Bone set up for VR 360. Actually, we've got 3 of them set up that way with your stuff. How did you get into that?
Well, the history behind it actually comes from the 3D scanning that we used to do. Because of the complexity of the arrays of SLR cameras that we used to use and the size and the shipping, when the Hero 3 camera came out, we noticed, it had all these amazing capabilities. It had 12 megapixel stills, which at the time was in excess of what the digital SLRs were doing. And you could sync multiple cameras to one remote with, great results. So we decided, let's try and use these to scan and create 3D data.
Wow. And so you became successful with it. I know that Back-Bone is really growing. I got to say hi to Martin in the shipping department. He made sure our order got out there. Really great guy. And, of course, JB is a great guy as well. You got a great team. So what do you have in your hand?
Well, in my hand, I've got a modified Hero 4 silver camera with our ribcage kit, complete with a tripod mount and a 9mm C-mount lens that we've added on here.
And what would I use that for?
This would actually be more or less the replacement for a 50mm SLR lens.
Okay.
So anything you would use that for, medium-type shots. If you want to add things like...
But it allows you to focus and control your aperture as well.
Exactly. So you can get a soft depth of field. You can get blurry backgrounds.
From a GoPro?
From a GoPro.
Oh, you can pass that over here. Let me check this out. And you can do it live because you can come out live on these too. Wow.
Yes, exactly.
That is really great. Oh my God, I like this. Oh wow, we have to get one of these. All right. And then you started doing stuff with drones. So you're like, hey, let's put it on the 3DR, right?
Yeah, well, as we started progressing with our product, we started getting a lot of feedback from customers, and they're saying, we have so many different applications for this product that you guys should probably be addressing. And obviously the main market is, at this point, drones.
Sure.
We sort of partnered up with 3DR on working with their solo drone, and we made an ultralight version of our camera that takes M12 lenses, which are quite small, lightweight.
Those are security lenses, is that right? Normally for security cameras?
Not necessarily, but they're a lot of the time they're called board lenses because they're attached to high-resolution machine vision circuit boards.
And that looks very similar to the GoPro lens. Why would I do all this? Why would I go through all this to do that?
Well, this lens is actually what's called rectilinear.
Okay.
So It has a similar field of view to the GoPro, but without any fisheye distortion
Wow.
whatsoever. So all of your horizons would be perfectly straight without
Very,
any
very
distortion.
cool.
Very sharp edge to edge. And the other thing that we've designed is called a dead weight balance kit. So we've actually got small weights that you can clip onto the back of the gimbal to perfectly balance whatever lens that you're using, or if you have a standard GoPro with, for example, an ND filter that
Sure.
you like to snap on, you can perfectly counterbalance that.
What a great idea. And will you be able to do that with the Phantom from DJI as well?
That's the idea, yeah.
Very, very cool. Nice. And we like the Solo a lot. DJ has a Solo himself and loves it.
Oh, great.
So then we get into, what's the silver thing there? I'm going to keep the best for last in my mind. But
The silver thing is it's kind of interesting because of the mounting system that we chose for the camera, which is C-mount, a lot of vintage lenses. C-mount has been around since the 1920s for old movie cameras. So a lot of
8mm, 16mm.
Yeah, home movie cameras, Bolex, Super 8 cameras. This is from a Super 8 camera.
Are you going to put the wheel on that eventually, like the old Bolexes, so you can just switch between 3 lenses?
Yeah, I tried it once.
It didn't work.
A little bit impractical,
Yeah.
but not out of the realm of possibility.
So you get maybe these lenses on eBay or something, and you can put them on and do all sorts of cool things. Telephoto, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And there's even some old anamorphics that you can find and use on here.
Shoot a GoPro and anamorphic.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, these 8mm film camera lenses, you can't use them on any other camera because there's no film.
Right. And there's no mounts for them. Now this,
Yes.
you added the cage to it, your Back-Bone cage, which allows you to mount it from any direction, really.
Yeah, so this is actually our Hero 3 mod.
Okay.
And we have an EXO, what's called an EXO mini bracket that ties into any of our ribcage mods, the Hero 4, Hero 3, it doesn't matter. And it just ties into the standard tripod mount that we have.
Now, I'm so impressed doing what you were doing in film and being so successful and saying, hey, that was good, it worked for a long time, but I want to do something different, and completely pivoting your business and kind of jumping in blind to this has got to be really scary, risky, and unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a bit of a, I mean, it's such a unique product, especially when we're getting our customers, in many cases, to do the modifications themselves. We didn't know what was going to happen when we released it.
Now, you're blowing up these days, and most notably because of 360 VR. I mean, this stuff was popular, but you're really blowing up because of 360 VR.
Yeah.
And I know this in talking to Martin and to watching this happen. I found you by accident and immediately had to get the stuff. And we have a rig that's a 2-camera rig for VR, a 2-camera GoPro rig, all rigged up with your stuff, and two 250 lenses, and then we have a 280 lens on its own camera. The lenses are Etamamayama. How did you find those lenses?
We actually noticed a lot of repeat purchases from Japan.
And he said, what are you guys doing with this?
We've actually partnered up with them on a lot of different parts and things like that. But our latest thing that we're working on right now is, I mean, obviously...
So this is what we did. I just want to show
Yes.
the viewers. This is what we've done. We've got the two 250s from GoPro. Hold on, let me get it in the product shot. I don't know. There we go. Here we go. And that's the two 250s from GoPro, right? All rib caged out. We actually do have the EXO cage. We never put them on, but we have it. And so those are the 250s. All right, here you go, Adam. And then here's the 280. So we have a 360 by 280. It's just got a little black dot in the bottom, and this one's all rib caged out as well. Look at that huge lens on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can mount that on a monopod or something, or whatever. We mounted it on a Jeep.
Exactly.
All right, so now
I've hung it off a Solo.
These work phenomenally, but I want to hang it off a Solo. I actually talked to Martin about it. He said, I wouldn't do it. He said, it's too heavy. You get a low flight time. I said, let's do it. We should do it. Then we were afraid we were going to destroy that expensive, beautiful lens. He said, okay, because he said also with landing it gets a little tricky. But now that you have the weight thing, maybe we can do it now.
Well, I wouldn't recommend flying it on the gimbal.
Yeah.
It's definitely too heavy for the gimbal.
Okay.
But you can get a vertical mount that mounts mid-drone.
Sure.
And you can hang it straight down.
Okay, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then
complete
just
with
catch the
dampness.
drone when you want to land it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what do we have here? So by the way, the 360 stuff is amazing. You're doing really well with it. It's easy to put together, so nobody should be afraid. And get it. Backbone.ca. Back-bone.ca. Yeah, give me a second. I got it. All right.
So what we're working on right now, this is actually a working prototype I'm holding in my hand, is for VR purposes, we're breaking out the image sensor from the camera.
Wow.
Up to, I think, 12 inches away. And these image sensors can be directly connected back to back to eliminate the parallax between the sensors.
That is really excellent, and also you're going to probably eliminate some of the heat in the camera, because the one problem with GoPros is they overheat. Now, we've noticed that with the backbone on it, the rib cage, a lot more of the heat dissipates and we have less overheating issues, but still, this will probably help.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most of the heat actually comes from the image processor that's
Sure.
in the camera itself.
Right.
And our all aluminum parts certainly help with that, because it acts like a heat sink similar to what's in your computer.
Yeah. Why GoPro never did it, I don't know, but you did, and that's great. And so when is this going to be available?
We're at the final prototype stage
Right.
right now, so we're hoping to go to manufacturing within a month.
And I can't wait for us to get that. It's going to be phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Let me know when we can have them.
Sure.
All right, and then and we'll show them off. And then the 3-camera rig you have out too for GoPros for VR.
Yes, exactly. You can mount these in a 3 or 4 configuration.
Gives you better resolution, sharper
better
images.
resolution. The more cameras you add, you get more resolution.
I love it. John, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody check out back-bone.ca. Back-bone.ca. This guy's got some set on him. He went and took this amazing company and said, you know what, I want to start a new company and get into creating this stuff. It takes you take a big risk doing that, but it pays off. You're a true entrepreneur, and it's a great story. And that's not easy, but that's how economies grow, by people like you taking and building the workforce. Because most people think a lot of people work at corporations. They do. A lot of people do. But most people work at small startup companies. That's where the most people are employed throughout the world. So congratulations. Thanks for giving us such a great product. And these guys will check it out too. Back-bone.ca. Thank you for coming on. We look forward to doing a whole lot more with you in the future. That's John from Back-Bone. Really awesome company. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Your live continuing NAB 2016 coverage on Be Terrific, presented by Data Video. Kevin, take us away.